want to ask you about Corey Perry's influence on Evander Kane. It looks like the two of them have really developed quick chemistry together.
Well, they both play to their strengths right now, and they're so good down low and protecting the puck and being able to make those little slip passes into the slot and creating some scoring chances. And they're both hungry going to the net, and obviously they're playing with a pretty good centerman who will help them along the way. But I think the break was good for a lot of the guys, and Anders come back and is looking more like his regular self, and obviously contributing on the offensive side, not only with the 3 goals in Anaheim, but had some really good looks the other night too.
Looks like they both have their own way of kind of getting under opponent's skin and really kind of bringing that out, I guess.
Yeah, definitely 2 guys that are difficult to play against, and Vander a little more physical and strong and getting run through the boards. Definitely as a defenseman, I wouldn't want to be playing against him retrieving pucks. And Corey just having a way of antagonizing, getting under guys' skin, and just being able to find, he's good at the game within the game.
You spent a few games with some different D pairings, maybe just taking a look-see at a few things. How, did you get the information that you wanted? How do you think it went overall?
It's so difficult to evaluate just on such a short period of time, and I think we wanted to have a look at what the chemistry and if we can get more out of guys, and also balancing ice times on maybe a guy playing a little more than they should, or other guys we feel that they could probably be providing a little more if they were on the ice. And I thought some guys stepped up, but I think ultimately it is so important to have the chemistry of partners playing together, and we're going to go back with our regular D pairings.
One of the changes involved Desharnais getting a few more minutes, bit of a look with Darnell. How do you think he handled that challenge, and does he strike you as a player who maybe has some more room for growth and what he might be able to handle?
I think you look at our third pair, and I think both of them can contribute more, and I think they've been an outstanding third pair, and I don't know if there's a better pair in the NHL for a third pair. And obviously I'm probably very biased, but around the league what I see is that's a very strong group. And can they handle a little bit more? Yes, but we're happy with everybody's how well they're playing. So it's difficult, but I know if heaven forbid, there will be an injury, somebody goes down, and we have to elevate one of those 2 players, Kulak or Desi, we know they can handle more minutes. So we definitely like their game.
Kris, you mentioned before the break that you felt your offense was getting a little stale, so you juggled up the lines, and Connor and Leon together obviously played very well. You come out of the break, and they had the one game, Leon's line was very good in LA. What are you seeing that's lacking overall from your group 5-on-5 offensively lately?
A lot of it is finishing, just being able to put the puck in the net. Throughout the season, our finishing rate has been one of the lowest in the NHL, if not the lowest. It was before I got here, during I'm here, and now this break, and it's only a short sample, but the last 3 games after the break, it has been really, really low. So there's a little bit of that, but also I think as a group we need to just be going to the net, simplifying our game, and being a little more quicker in the offensive zone rather than being on the perimeter, looking for the nice pass, fancier plays. We can be a little more direct, and there's a few players that can make those fancy plays. Obviously we've got 2 of them, but ultimately as a group we want to be a little more quicker and a little more direct.
You want more just pucks funneled to the net, or do you want it kind of smart, not just fire from anywhere on that?
We don't want to give away pucks. I think part of the reason why we've been defending and keeping our goals against down is because we haven't been giving away the pucks. And the more you possess it, less you have to defend. So I think that's the biggest reason why our defense has been much better. But there's a balance on how much you sacrifice that, and you end up sacrificing the offensive side of it. So we want to score goals. We have to be careful on throwing pucks to the slot blind. We're just feeding their transition. We don't want to be doing that. But we want to speed things up, and we need to get pucks and bodies around the net a little bit more than we have.
This group early in the year, we know what happened. And then you go on this run that's all world. There have been like massive highs and some pretty intense lows. Is there something to be said for just trying to find some even keel where you're just a very good team, you know, for weeks and weeks on end, but not necessarily these crazy extremes?
You know, you look at our last 3 games, and, you know, this road trip, we lose 2 of the 3, and, you know, easy to get as excited and think that we need to make drastic changes, and I definitely don't think that's the case. I think the way we were playing right before the break was we were just getting by winning games. I don't think we were playing nearly as well as we were the previous weeks, and I think we played fairly well after the break. You know, I see numerous analytics from multiple sources on how well we played and if we should have won or not, and, you know, those can be skewed a little bit. But I also think that they're very important evaluating on how our team's playing. We don't want to do anything drastic. I think there are things that we can get better at, and it wasn't just luck that we lost those games. But overall, I think those were above average games. I thought we played well, certainly better than we had going into the break.
And it looked like, based on practice, Sam Gagner might get back in on that line. What are you looking for from him if he gets in?
Well, we're looking for more offense in our bottom 6, and we can't rely on our top 2 lines scoring all the time. And as good as they are, and they are very good, we need a little more offense from the bottom guys. And Sam has been so good, and he hasn't quite had a role, you know, with getting Perry here, and the way the penalty kill's been going kind of pushed him out of having a role. And but that sacrificed our 5-on-5 play a little bit, and Sam has been a great hockey player for us, and now we have him come back, and I think he'll add a little bit in that dimension.
Kris, on a totally lighter note, the Super Bowl was yesterday, and obviously coaching decisions always get discussed afterwards. When you watch a game like that, do you think that yourself, or do you think more as a coach and be like, oh, I bet you they're winning all this, and don't criticize that?
I don't know enough about football to question what they're deciding and the decisions they're making, and I like to be respectful of somebody who's a professional at that, and just let them believe that they're making the right calls. I hope everyone else is listening to this.
Have you ever had an offensive star body check you after maybe not being deployed as much as that?
No, that is, well, actually I do have some stories, but we'll another time.